Hello and welcome back to Rage Gaming. My name is Hollow and today marks my first patch 1.07 build. I'm very excited to get into all the new builds. There's so much to try and look at, which has been perfectly reflected today in the player base for me. I saw so many different builds during the PvP for this video. I haven't seen this much variety since the game launched. It's awesome. For me though, I wanted to target a particular weapon here, and it's Ash of War that I have seen literally 0 times in PvP until today. Golden Tempering is the weapon art associated with the very first boss you fight, the Grafted Scion. The weapon or weapons here are the ornamental straight swords, which when buffed up, it gives you this holy damage. A solid 100 before you buff up in other ways. Then you get this unique heavy attack where you chain out all these different stabs, which is super deadly and very threatening. You can tap it for a quick dash forward stab, you can hold it and then cancel out of it now, or you can full channel it for the full deadly damage. In 1.07, this Ash of War was improved in a bunch of ways. That cancel out was added so that you can roll out and not get stuck in for full duration. The motion speed is way faster, so much more deadly in all content. It also does way more poise damage and stamina damage, so if you stagger someone, you're going to get the full combo off much more likely. Finally, if you use the skill, you can control your character again way faster after you use it, which is very important in general. Basically, beforehand, it was strong but hard to land. Now it's strong but much easier to land and therefore much more viable in all content. It leads to hilarious burst damage, say in boss fights where you burst out health where it's nothing, or in PvP where you can also chunk out them health bars. The moveset's versatile, giving you lots of options based on what the enemy is doing, and it all looks super cool on top. So with that intro and explanation, let's just talk about it. Beginning with PvP. Well, when you've got it buffed up in all these different ways, it does a lot of damage even with the basic attacks. When you have the Golden Tempering buff on, you've got an extra dose of holy damage on everything you're doing, so even the basic attacks are going to absolutely clean out health. If you can get off just a few hits in, say, a roll catch or a trade, you'll just do a chunk of damage. For basic combos, you've got running attacks, be it light or heavy, and that really catches people in trade or when they're rolling. The jumping attack is brilliant as well. You do like 3 different hits after jumping, and even the basic attacks. People seem to think that they're going to stop at some point. Because these are straight swords, that light attack duo combo goes on forever, and if you get hit by any of it, it's going to really hurt. Even using just the startup of the unique heavy attack works really well, because you dash forward with this double poke that deals very big damage. But then you have the full channel version of that special heavy, which in trade is outrageous. If they manage to dodge it, the combo continues, it can retract really well, meaning if they do avoid the first part and then they think, okay, well now I've dodged it, I can trade now, when they can't, it's going to really hurt them. Or if they roll it and continue to roll, it actually works as an incredible roll catch, just the default timing of it. If you do manage to get off the full combo though, which is of course possible, you will just destroy that person. I found it happen most when catching them out when they're not expecting it, then staggering them with the beginning of the combo, which would then lead to the full combo landing. A really good combo then is combining the running heavy attack and then going straight into the special heavy. You kind of dash forward and do a stab, and then as the special heavy starts, it's another dash forward and stab. So it's a huge gap closer with a massive dangerous combo behind it. Of course, as part of the buff in 1.07, we can cancel out of the special heavy. So we can cancel the combo a little bit early if we've missed and we don't want to get punished for it. It's not exactly a feint, but it means we can get out the combo much quicker than where we would normally be stuck in it before. So the Ash of War Golden Tempering, very strong and very versatile for these reasons. Now, of course, we can also make the build better in certain duels where they want to play at range. That's why I put in the 2 meta incantations. Catch Flame for its surprise blast, and then of course Home Bolt for the long range sniping. As always, both of these are going to do good damage, but in combo, that's where they're the best. By using chain casting, you jump and use Catch Flame while in the air, then quickly Home Bolt spam straight away, getting into the fast cast and poking them at range. Or just using it when they try and go use an incantation buff, get some mana back, whatever. It's a great punish. So with that, we can play it close and medium, as well as long range, with no problem. Baseline then, this is just an effective and very fun build to play in PvP. I'm very happy to see these Grafted Scion weapons really work. Straight swords are super fun, but not only do these look super cool, but the Ash of War slapping on the extra holy damage and lasting ages, it's just very nice. I even ran into one other person using them. He destroyed me, so props to him, because he made use of that running heavy attack into the combo and I wasn't expecting it, and then I started using using it. But now let's talk about PvE, where this is just silly. For the PvE build, we do make some slight changes I'll explain in the build explanation in a moment, but essentially your entire goal is to get up in that boss's face and channel out the full special heavy attack as much as you can. The thing is, while yes, the full combo is going to be, as you can see, disgustingly strong, the practical side of this build does show as well when you don't necessarily have time for the full combo. You can still just use basic attacks, which is going to chunk out health with the basic light attack combo. Or if you use the special heavy, you can just tap it and it'll do the dash forward and the double stab as sort of a gap closing burst of damage. So in those small windows of opportunity where you can't do the full combo, you can still get a lot of damage out, which means this build will work long term for a playthrough. Best of all is the fact that you can get these weapons right at the beginning of your playthrough. There isn't really a faster weapon to locate and collect, assuming you can beat the Scion immediately first try with no heals, but of course it is doable. In any case, you can clearly see the damage of these weapons is outrageous, and while in PvP you need to be a bit smart about how you're going to land these attacks and the longer combos, in PvE it's a different story. The boss isn't really going to try to stop or evade attacks, you just need to time it well and go to town. When you can do this much damage in a fast combo, not only does it feel amazing, but it's also a heavy attack, so it will stagger and lead to more burst windows, or just go for the critical if you want. So overall, just like PvP, this build is very satisfying in PvE and might be one of the strongest burst options I've seen for PvE faith in general. Thing is though, you don't even need much faith or high levels of it to use this. It's only when it gets buffed that it gets the holy damage anyway. But as promised, it's time to talk about the build and how it works and why we picked what we picked. Now, the fashion, as neat as this is completely cosmetic and serves no purpose. It's a shame. There needs to be some armor that really enhances holy damage. That'd be great. Of course, these are the ornamental straight swords, though. We've got a seal for our various incantations. I've just used the basic finger seal. Our 4 talismans, then, are the Axe Talisman, Rotten Wing Sword Insignia, Millicent's Prosthesis, and the Sacred Scorpion Charm for PvE. And in PvP, I use Erdtree's Favor for the health, stamina, equip load. As always, it's a great pick. I don't tend to use things that make me take more damage in PvP. I would say these 2 talismans are obvious, like why they're good. It improves your attack power with successive attacks. So as you attack more and more, your AR goes up. With the long combo of how many times you're actually attacking super quick, your AR skyrockets. So the first one is going to do more, like huge damage. But if you can get a follow-up immediately, it is just outrageous. Now, interestingly, we looked at 3 different talismans. The Axe Talisman, which enhances charge attacks. Perfect. The Twin Blade Talisman, which actually enhances the final hit of chain attacks, which is not specifically about light attacks, which is often misunderstood. This is indeed a chain attack. So that talisman will increase the damage of this attack. Why I'm not using it though, despite the fact that I went and tested all this to check, is because for some reason, it seems like the Axe Talisman is overwriting the Twin Blade Talisman. When I have both of them on, it seems to pick the one that's stronger and ignore the other, rather than stack the powers, which is very disappointing. I tested this without any talismans to see the damage I did, then I put on Twin Blade, then I put on Axe as a separate one, then I put on both, and I could see that the numbers remained the same as if I just had the Axe one on. A shame, because we could make this build even stronger if it worked as it's supposed to. For our flask, we have 2 options. For PvE, we're using the Thorny Crack Tier and the Spike Crack Tier. That's going to boost your successive hits and also the charge attack itself. But in PvP, I take out the consecutive hit one and put in Holy Shrouding Crack Tier. It's less likely you're going to get many consecutive hits in PvP. So simply enhancing all of the power of the charge attack and your holy damage, that's going to be a better way to go for that. As I've explained though, we're using Flame Grant Me Strength to buff our physical power, using Golden Vow to improve our power as well as giving us some defense. I have Catch Flame and the Home Bolt for the quick casts and the ranged options. And Golden Tempering, when we're fully buffed up with all of that, we'll take our AR all the way up to 800, which is very deadly when you consider just how much you're attacking. And of course, with the successive hits, the AR just goes up. These are my stats if you want to take a look at them. I've actually got 75 dexterity, but the prosthesis gives me 5 extra dex, so we hit that soft cap nicely. 25 faith to use everything we've got there, and then the rest is up to you for utility. But there you have it. That is the build in full, explained and shown in both sides of the content. But this is only the beginning, man. We have so many builds to show you. So many incantations, so many sorceries were changed, as well as weapon core gameplay on top of the more specific stuff like the weapon arts. If you enjoy these build videos and you want to see more, let us know with a like. And if there's anything you want us to check out first or sooner than anything else, let us know in the comments. For now though, I've been Hollow, you've been you. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.